Gutter Crash Space episode. My name is Jason.
My name is Eric. It's episode 178 for continuity sticklers.
Oh yeah, we got numbers.
Yeah.
We got your numbers.
This is the space episode.
That's right.
And I figured you should intro it because this is pretty much, this is all for you, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is your thing.
Yeah. It's our
Yeah.
thing. It's our thing.
It's our thing, but it's mostly your thing.
Oh,
You're the star.
I am.
When we go to space, there is one person who is the main attraction. I am just the shitty opening act that nobody wants to see,
Oh.
but everybody tolerates.
So you're like the local band, and I'm the winger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I play all my hits like 17 and Madeline and Date Rape 2000 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I do my cover of Born in the USA.
Oh, I love your cover. Of
Yeah. And of course, I'm going to do Freebird.
Right.
Yeah.
Acapella Freebird.
Yeah.
You and Brian John Mitchell doing the acapella Freebird. He loves the acapella.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
See, that. I find that bizarre a little bit, actually.
What was that?
Well, because he has done in the past, like remix albums,
Mm-hmm.
for so people can take his music and he gives them all the varying pieces of it, to put together in any way that one so chooses. He thinks I would think that if he has all this acapella music, he should make that available for free for people to make their own versions of that.
That's a good idea.
Like the Beastie Boys or MC Chris does.
What do they do?
They give away their songs online, but just the vocals,
Okay.
so that fans can make their own remixes.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. I
Yeah,
didn't know that. Do it, Brian John Mitchell.
do it.
Not that I'll do it.
Get
No.
into that Beastie Boy MC Chris avenue.
Oh, we could call him BJM MC. MC BJM.
I like BJM MC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to touch that because I don't have any sort of musical file creating capabilities.
Right.
But others out there, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No.
Do it up. Let's hear some crazy BJM remixes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's up?
Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not reviewing anything here other than our weekend.
Our weekend, yeah. So, so prepare for tedium.
Yeah. Well, most of you, I mean, you guys, anybody listening probably knows what space is. It's
Right, because they were all there with us.
They were all there. Small Press Alternative Comic Expo, Columbus. This was the 13th year.
Wow, unlucky.
Yeah.
It fits.
Really? You think?
I didn't get lucky.
Oh, okay. Well.
In numerous ways.
Yeah. Space. It was a good time.
Space, yeah.
It was a good time. All kinds of crazy stuff happened.
So was this the third year that it's been in the place it's been at?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ramada.
Yeah.
On Sinclair.
Sinclair Road.
Mm-hmm.
Just down the street from Alrosa Villa,
Oh, yeah. Well,
where I saw the Misfits play.
that's awesome.
Or, as I like to call them, Jerry Only and the All-American Geriatric Punk All-Stars.
That it wouldn't fit on the marquee, though.
No,
so they went out with
so they
Misfits.
just called the Misfits.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been to Alrosa Villa. My friend Steve, who lives in Columbus, loves that place.
Really?
I guess they have a lot of metal bands that play there.
Yeah. Trapped was there the weekend we were.
Chapter the T.
Trapped with a T.
Yeah.
And then it ends with a T as well.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be trapped with a T.
Nope.
No, sir. Yeah. So Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus. C-Bus.
Yeah, pretty happening little town in Ohio. You know.
I guess. I don't know. I don't spend too much time there. Mostly because I get lost frequently while I'm in that place.
Really?
Yeah.
Did we get this time?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got lost when there was construction, I think,
Yeah.
for a little bit.
But also when I was out on my own for like 5 minutes, I also got lost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Breakfast. You were doing some breakfast reconnaissance.
Yes. That was my main job this weekend, was breakfast reconnaissance.
I mean, that would look good on a resume, wouldn't it? Who wouldn't hire someone to like, ooh, wow, that just sounds great. I want them in my employ.
I can get breakfast like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
all I'm saying.
You are a breakfast-getting bastard.
Yeah, it was a 2-day weekend.
Mhm.
Or, as all weekends are. No, it was Saturday and Sunday. We left. We started our journey on Friday.
Mhm.
The long trek up to Columbus.
It shouldn't have been that long, but yeah, there was some construction.
It did take a lot longer. It was also raining. And I drove since I have a newer car than you.
Yeah.
In all senses.
Yeah.
Uh,
You've owned it like 2 weeks now.
Yeah, just under
Right.
2 weeks. So we drove up there. It was raining, and it was at night, and I am an old man, and I don't like driving at night and in the rain. So it was a very perilous trek, and I was very stressed out.
At least, at least we had we had a good tunes. Do we have good tunes?
We did not have any tunes.
We just talked.
We just talked.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And then and now here we are 3 days later, and I'm pretty sure I don't ever want to see you again.
Yeah. All we've done is talk to each other for 4 days. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had fun though.
Oh yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah. We got to share a table with our buddy Pat.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we drove up there Friday night. Spent. I think we figured out that we like getting there the day before. That way, because I mean we've also done it the other way where we've gone up
Early in the morning.
on Saturday, and
Yeah.
that is bullshit.
Yeah, that is horrible. That is terrible things. Because, I mean, you're so excited the night before. At least I am. I'm really excited, and it's, like, hard to fall asleep. And if we have to drive up there, we have to get up super early, and it's
Right.
like, it just throws me off.
And could you imagine? Because we got we followed the directions to this place,
Mhm.
and of course you Google directions or look on the GPS, and they don't tell you that half of the highway is just gone.
Yeah.
And that you're going to have to take a detour through the ghetto in order to get back to the highway.
Right.
Imagine being 7 o'clock in the morning
Oh, yeah.
and having to deal with that.
I'm not familiar with the state. Because,
Right.
I talked to a guy who drove up from Kentucky. And Ken drove up from Kentucky. And he said they left at, like, 5 in the morning or something. And,
So they came up Saturday.
yeah.
No.
Yeah, can you imagine
could
that?
not convince me.
Yeah. And he was just super, I mean, like, because I saw his table at, like, 1:30 on Saturday. Yeah, and him and his brother just looked like they were about to, like, crash.
Right.
They were so tired. And that's no kind of fun. So, going up Friday night, that's the way to go. Be extravagant. Spend that extra few bucks on the motel.
And like you tried to convince me to stay at a shitty hotel this year.
Yeah.
And we're adults. We can afford to stay at a decent hotel. At least the one that the convention is at.
Right. It's so convenient, man.
It is.
Just walk down the stairs and you're there.
right there.
Mhm.
And you got to poop. You got a home base.
That's right. Yeah. You don't have to like, oh shit, I got to get in my car and drive to my hotel and poop.
right.
Well, I mean, but
Or
you know,
use, God forbid, use the public restroom at the convention.
see, but that's one of my superpowers. I actually did poop there, and I pooped in this stall, and like
Was it the one that had the half of the wall smashed in?
no, I didn't see
Okay.
that.
I don't know. Apparently, one of the stalls, somebody lost their temper, and there was like a big fist-size hole right in the middle, or at least somebody like slammed the door against the wall. Really
that
hard.
could happen.
Yeah.
Well, no, I used the because when I went in there was like two other like mini comics cartoonists pooping at the same time,
Right.
and there was a third stall. It was the handicap stall.
Yeah.
So I went in there, and
At least has its own sink.
that's what I was gonna say. I couldn't believe it. It had its own sink in there, and like I was thinking, I was like, how many people are like using that urinal, and they see the handicapped person get out and just leave,
Right.
and not knowing that there's a sink in the handicapped stall,
Right.
and like they just assume like all handicapped people are like
Just
filthy
awful.
bastards
Right. Yeah.
because they never wash their hands, or they never see them wash their hands, so they assume. But yeah, no, I got to poop right next to the guy who did the Cthulhu comic. I forget his name, but he had a bunch of like heavy metal looking tattoos, and his table was awesome. It had like some really sweet
here's the
artwork.
thing. I don't want to poop next to anybody. That's why I went back to the room.
Yeah,
Yeah. Home base. Gotta have a home base.
Yeah, whatever works. Whatever works. I can poop anywhere, man. Poop in an outhouse.
I probably could too, as long as there wasn't someone sitting right next to me doing it.
But it's like there's camaraderie, you know.
There's no
Yeah.
camaraderie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're doing this together.
So we did the show. You debuted 2 new comics this year.
Yeah. Veggie Dog Saturn number 6 and the Veggie Dog Saturn special, which you and many other people were involved in because you were in it, and Brian was in it, and Kurt was in it.
Special.
All my friends was in it, or
All your
not
friends.
all my friends, but
Really? Well, you should do one with all your friends.
really like a giant sized special.
Yeah, even all your friends who don't know how to draw.
Yeah. Well, that's why I did
like
this
a Joe
time.
G.
Oh man, that
That
mean.
was hurtful.
That was mean.
No, Joe G. Because the astute listener may recall me making fun of his comic postscript.
Oh yeah.
Not so much for the content of it, but there is a panel which I will never leave him alone about. That the caption is coming out of someone's crotch.
Yeah.
But no, he drew a story, and then the Veggie Dog Saturn special, and it's a great story. Anyway, you wrote it.
Well, clearly it's awesome then.
So
Already.
it's much better than no.
Yeah.
But Joe's artwork is like taken a dramatic leap forward.
Yeah.
Like I was not that he was terrible in the first place, but
Right.
he's clearly just a guy starting out.
Right. Yeah.
But the leaps and bounds above what he had been doing
Oh yeah.
was amazing, and I was just so proud to see that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there was like the one panel that I really, really liked because the story involves like a projection of a cartoon, like
Right.
an old school reel-to-reel projector. And there's like I just wrote the words and kind of told him, about the characters, and I didn't say I wasn't like Alan Moore, like draw this projector on the second third of the panel.
Providing your own thumbnails,
Right. But he drew this one panel that I really loved where the projector is like projecting the words onto the next panel. I thought that was a really cool visual.
Yeah.
And that was all him, buddy.
Way to go, Joe G.
Yeah. Way to go, everybody. That comic is awesome.
It is really good.
It's totally worth the $3. So
Yeah.
buy it from me.
Do it. I mean, yeah, it is really good. I really enjoyed, a lot of it.
Everybody that's listening is in it. So
For the most part, yeah. No, yeah, I thought that just the variety of the stories were great. The variety of art was awesome. The fact that your own art is also still in it, is a plus as well.
yeah.
Because it's not going to be a Veggie Dog Saturn story if there's nothing drawn by you in it.
Right.
And
I
of
don't
course,
I don't know. After seeing that book, I could totally, I think, let any of like 4 different people just take over the series because it blew me away. Some of it.
Well, no offense to any of the other people who did contribute to it,
Mm-hmm.
but I would like to see Kurt Dins
Do
continue
the
to draw
whole
that
thing,
book.
right?
Uh,
Yeah, his was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
I think art-wise, his was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't pick a favorite. It would just be. I mean, it would be too hard. But
I think you could pick a favorite.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think you could
I
totally,
mean, clearly,
totally pick a favorite.
clearly yours was the best.
Yeah.
But I mean, a second favorite. So was the word I was trying to find. No, yeah, it was so awesome. We sold some of those.
Yeah.
We sold some of those. So yeah, they're out there. People have them. So if you contributed, know that your work is being seen.
Yeah. It's the first time, I think, in a comic that all of the members of OK Panic have participated.
Yep.
Even current and former.
Yeah, that's right. We got Pat in there too.
Patty Kane.
Man, it was good to see some Pat.
It was good to see some Pat.
Yeah.
He shared the table with us on Saturday, anyway.
He had to work Sunday.
He had to work Sunday. It was just fun hanging out with him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, fun hanging out with Brian John Mitchell, who was sitting next to us.
Yeah.
With his new Rasputin beard.
Yeah.
And penchant for wearing a hoodie at all times to further be wizard-like, I guess.
Yeah. Oh my God. His beard is a little wizard-like.
Yeah.
Huh. He's got that hood. Wow. Did he have a wand?
He may have had a wand.
I mean, he had that little stapler. That's kind of like a wand because it's magic.
It was magical.
It fixes books that It fixes books that were never meant to be stapled even. Yeah, that was a big point of contention.
Oh yeah, yep.
Pat contributed to an anthology called Rub the Blood.
Yep.
Which is an awesome looking, oversized, like it's super tall at
Right.
least.
I think it's tabloid size. Folded anyway.
And it's like a tribute to Liefeld and all those super muscular, gritty, crazy action.
Early Image, early 90s, even some early 90s Marvel as well.
Right.
But the extreme comics.
Overly muscular, gunny kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pat contributed, so he had copies for sale, and for some reason, whoever published that did not staple that book together.
Nope.
Which is weird.
It's very weird. Now, do you think, because it's a big comic, the like folded like a regular book, like a regular comic, it is like 11 by 17.
Right.
So open, it's 22 by 17.
Right.
Or whatever. Yeah. So do you think that they printed this thing and they just didn't have the proper stapling equipment?
I honestly, I think it's just an aesthetic choice. I mean, I've seen, I know a few people who were involved with like some of the artsy comics in Rhode Island. Like my cousin Casey contributed to some of that stuff, and it seems like just an aesthetic choice where, it's something that you can easily like pull apart and make into posters and hang up and whatever. Because they're very like, a lot of those artists are very like into exhibiting art, so like they like hanging stuff, and like my cousin Casey's house was just plastered every wall with like artwork, and I mean that's my take on it, is they really just wanted to like have it be something you could pull apart and like hang up or whatever.
Right.
But for me, I want to keep it all together. I'm a nerd. I'm a collector nerd. I don't like things falling apart. I don't mind if it has a bent corner or whatever, but I want it to all be contained.
Right. You want to be able to flip through it easily without losing.
Yeah, I don't
half
want
of it.
I don't want to lose
floor.
it. I'm not going to hang any up, but I mean, if I bought 2 copies, I would tear one apart and hang it up.
Right.
But I would want to keep one intact because I'm just a nerd like that.
Right. So that was a big thing, and I bought a copy, and I had Brian John Mitchell staple it for me right in front of Pat
With his magic wand.
with his magic wand, which apparently infuriated Pat because I ruined the integrity of the comic.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody had to.
Yeah,
And who better?
who better than me? Exactly.
I haven't stapled mine yet just because I haven't looked through my books yet.
Right.
I got in, after we got back last night, I drove home and walked my dog and drove right to Mavericks and did paperwork for a couple hours. And I drove right back home, went to bed, got up and worked 10 hours today at Mavericks. So I basically haven't really sat down for more than half an hour anywhere other than at Mavericks since the show. So
You're here now?
I'm here now. So when I get home, I'm going to staple that bitch.
All right. When I get home, I'm going to sleep.
So you're
Yeah,
home.
yeah. I'm not, I'm only visiting the apartment today. I'm house sitting for my parents, so this is for the week, not my home anymore. Yeah,
It's always fun.
yeah. But
What else cool happened in space?
well, I don't know because I'd have to say this was definitely a year where I did not do much. I deliberately played it low key. I didn't have anything that I was even trying to sell.
Right.
I just
You refused interviews,
yeah, I did.
photo opportunities.
Yeah.
You're like, no pictures, please.
You had we got 2 tables this year. Because in previous years it's usually been you and me, and I'll pay you for like half the table or whatever, and Pat will kick in to be a part of it. But you only get 2 chairs per table,
Right.
so usually we can sneak in a third one. But we also usually have like people coming over and hanging out. Like your girlfriend comes with us sometimes, or
Joe or
she
somebody.
like shows up for a couple hours and hangs out, and it always means that somebody has to leave.
Right.
And
no matter who is there at the table, 3 people is a little crowded for
It
a
is,
6-foot table.
and then plus, like, you have a lot of stuff. Pat generally has quite a bit of stuff as well. He's got like T-shirts and books and
Prints
and stuff
and stuff.
like that.
And Prince takes up a lot of room. Like he'll sit there and he'll.
Well, he's got his. I think he has like 4 of those cymbal-shaped guitars.
Right. Yeah, and he always wants to have
Right.
at least 2 on the table.
And plus, at least 7 people in his entourage.
Oh yeah.
Right.
The new power generation.
Right. Yeah.
Or whatever. So Prince takes up a lot of room.
Yeah. So we just thought that this year 2 tables would be best.
Oh, yeah. And Prince can kick in. He's a millionaire.
Right.
He
Yeah.
can kick in the extra $50 for a second table. No, I mean, the tables at Space are incredibly cheap compared to, they're like, seriously, like 1/8 of the price of a same size table at SPX. They're $50 as opposed to $400. And,
That's insane.
yeah.
That is, I would say, even bullshit.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Kurt, split a table with someone,
But that's still
And
like $200.
and he said he made his money.
Did he?
Yeah.
I guess if you know you can do that, then
I think he made his money. If I'm wrong, correct me, Kurt.
Yeah, let us know.
I'm pretty sure he said he made his table money and then some.
But still, that is an incredible risk.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not sure that you are going to make that money back,
Right.
and plus, the travel, then you got to find someplace to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You can't always luck out and know somebody,
Right.
places, but
Yeah,
or that if you do, that they'll let you stay.
I know that show.
Some people are real dicks, is what I'm saying. What I'm also saying is that nobody ever asked me for a place to stay. Because I will tell you no.
Oh, you're talking about you.
Yeah.
The traffic at SPX is crazy, crazy busy, and people do go there to buy, and it has like a kind of different feel where like at Space you kind of feel like you're locked in a tractor beam when you walk anywhere near their table, and you feel like
desperation.
yeah. A lot of people. and like maybe there's the same amount of that at SPX, but there's just so many people that at any one time there's never less than 4 people in front of your table, just because somebody's always walking by your table.
Right.
So I mean, like I didn't feel that at all at SPX. Like not once. I didn't feel like somebody was like, please buy my book. Like, so I think that probably kind of assures you like more, more money.
Right. So when you were at SPX, let me ask this, because this is the big thing that I think we've been talking about before at Space, where it really feels like everybody who's like coming up to your table or talking to you is also somebody who also has a table there.
Right.
Is there a similar thing at the SPX, or is it more like, do people who aren't actually exhibiting coming to this thing?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Like I only saw a few people with like badges or whatever walking around at SPX. I mean, there was just tons of like just nerdy looking, 20 somethings shopping around. Yeah, I think a lot more people just go there to spend money than at Space. I mean, it is kind of like incestuous, I guess, where like everybody like gets up and walks around for a couple hours and spends $20 or $30 and they go back to their table and they hope the same people that they just spent money at comes to their table. Because inevitably, if someone buys something from you at Space, they're like, well, I'm over at table 46. Make sure you come check me out. And then like they look at you like, please.
I don't think I've ever done that even when I had stuff for sale. Mm-hmm. Like if I've gone around and looked around, I've never said, well, I'm over there, we got stuff for sale too.
Right.
I've never even traded.
Yeah.
I mean, like if people come up to me and like I had stuff and say, you want to trade? And
right.
I mean, as much as a dick as I am, on this show, like, face to face, I'd be like, okay. And I'll trade, but like I've never actually taken a pile of my books and like tried to get other people's books.
I always felt weird doing that. Like, I mean, I'll trade with people if they come to my table and ask, but I don't think I would. Like, I don't even think it's like that I'm afraid that they'll turn me down. I just don't want to be that guy, I guess. Yeah. Like, because it kind of puts people on the spot. Like, you basically walk up to their table, hold up your comic, and you say, hey, are you a dick?
Right, yeah.
That's basically what you're asking, because if you say, I can't trade, then they walk away going, that guy was a dick.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I've never wanted to do that. I mean, I figured, I don't know, like I said, I'll totally trade with people if they come up to me, because I don't want them to think I'm a dick. But I'm not gonna take my book and trade it with others because it costs money to print those things. I want to try to sell as many as I can.
There's a few people that I would walk up to their table. I mean, because like the last 3 years in a row, I think I've went over to Jeff Gibbons' table and bought everything new he has.
Right.
And then like 3 hours later, he walks over to my table and buys everything new I have.
Right.
And we've done that like
the
last 3 years.
Also a mutual respect thing.
Yeah.
But like if it's like somebody I've never seen there before.
Right. Yeah. I mean, trading's cool. I mean, that is part of like the whole atmosphere of that show is like you said, it's mostly other exhibitors buying comics, and it does feel like they, most people there do really want to read other people's comics. Like, like I think there might be a couple of dudes that I've seen that just like park themselves there, and it feels like they're there to sell books and that's it,
Right.
But most people there just love comics, and there's this atmosphere of, bartering and swapping. And
I gotta say that because there's a lot of this sickening brotherly love thing going online about the whole space show.
Oh yeah,
and I'm kind of done with it.
Brotherly love.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like what?
Just like it's space. Everybody loves comics and each other, and I'm done with it.
Why? What's wrong?
Fuck everybody.
What's wrong with loving each other? It's what we're striving for on planet Earth.
It's unnatural.
So you don't want Star Trek. You want...
I want Battlestar.
Oh.
I want robots to take over the Earth and kill all humans.
I bet robots can make some really good mini comics.
They probably could. Yeah. But no, like I think last year we talked about all the different types of comics that you can get in
Right.
space, and I think it's getting worse.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's just all more of the same, like just more and more of it.
Really?
And I mean, I just kind of glanced around, and it just seemed so unexciting. And
Wow.
there was just nothing that caught me that I didn't really know about in advance.
Right.
Huh. Yeah.
See, I really thought like there was more stuff this year. It
Oh,
seemed
there
like-
was more stuff.
I mean, more stuff that excited me. I kind of did a quick count before I came over here. I looks like I got like 30-ish comics
Yeah.
this time around, and like I don't think I got that many last time. I mean there's maybe like one or two that I just kind of bought because the person was nice or like we traded or whatever. But for the most part, I mean, it was all stuff I was like, yeah, this looks cool. I'm excited to read it.
I don't know. Maybe part of it is also, I'm remembering back in like the early days of space, like when you and I were just going there to hang out.
Right.
And-
We weren't exhibiting. We were
right,
just
right,
walking around.
yeah. And it was a much smaller thing, and so fewer people. That it really felt like there was more opportunities for everybody to sort of have their own moments.
Mm-hmm.
That you could really pick out like all the good stuff. I mean, because the first one I ever went to, like Farrell Dalrymple was there,
Mm-hmm.
the Teenagers from Mars guys, Paul Hornschmeyer, Durf,
Yeah.
and then it just felt like there was more room to breathe and to figure out what was worth getting
Right.
and what wasn't. And it just seems like anymore, like especially the past couple of years, like it just seems so crowded, and there's like so many people just like pumping out like arts and crafts stuff, and then
Oh, yeah.
the same cartoony superhero parodies, and
Right.
like like the guy that sat next to us whose whole pitch was like, it's a superhero, but he doesn't have superpowers. Yeah.
Hey, you love Batman. That sounds like Batman.
I do love Batman. But because the guy selling me Batman is also not trying to convince me that it's the most original idea in the world either.
Right. That's true.
And he also doesn't hit me with a suitcase card
Yeah.
and then just look at me and sigh with disgust.
That did kind of happen. I did watch that happen. Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. What do you think? Maybe like when we used to go to space, it was more like, I mean, because like even me, who I fucking love mini comics, that's one of my favorite things.
Right.
Like even, I didn't have nearly as many, or had been exposed to nearly as many mini comics because I'd been to like one show that I'd ever even seen mini comics at before. So it seemed like everything we saw was kind of exciting and new and like, wow, I've never seen anything like that.
Right.
And now after like, we've been like, I don't know, half dozen times, or probably 8 times or 10 times.
Right, yeah.
And, so we have seen even a lot of the same people or just, a lot of the similar kind of, similar books.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there are people there other than us, year after year. I mean, like at least on my end, every year I go, like I have less and less stuff that I'm bringing with me,
Right.
just because I have just stopped caring. But like, at least when you come, you have like all your old stuff, but you also at least have one thing new.
Right.
But there are a few people there who, they've been there year after year after year, and they just have the exact same things that they have each time. So it's like almost at the point, why would you bother trying?
I was thinking about that because, like if I hadn't, because we printed both of the new books that we had
Right.
like a week before space, and I was thinking about that like a month ago. I was like, what if something happens and these don't get printed up? I was like, would that suck? Or, I mean, like, it would obviously be disappointing, but would it suck to just show up and, like, only have the exact same things I had last year?
It's weird because I brought this up, but I'm also sort of the theory that I don't think it matters. Like I know I was just bitching about the Ineffables guy. That's who I was thinking of exactly when I was saying this, because I don't think he's had anything new in 4 years, 5 years.
I think he had something new last year.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. I think he had a sequel. I mean, sequel to the same, same book.
I mean, yeah, I don't care if you're writing the same book or whatever.
Right.
It just shows that you're
You're
love
sticking
for
with
what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, but to have the exact same books,
right? The same
right.
issues, right?
I honestly don't think that you need to have something new every year. I think if you are going to go every year, I mean, it's cool that you have something new. But I don't think it's necessary every other year. You should have something new at least. I think.
My goal is to have something new every year because I'm super motivated to draw, but I'm not that motivated to like publish for some reason.
Right.
Like I really like making stuff, but like the like the business side and the production side, like I'm not as excited about. So like I'd love to make money doing it, but
right.
I'd rather just, draw something else and throw it in a folder somewhere. And
right.
So
because you do have, I mean,
I do.
I was going to talk about it, but you do have a graphic novel that you've had completed for like a year.
Yeah.
That's just sitting in your sketchbook.
Yeah.
Me and maybe one other person have read it.
No, just you.
Just me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to print it up eventually, but
at the same time, you're sort of like, well, I did it. It's done.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
I've honestly forgotten about it for like months at a time before I'm like, oh yeah, I should print that up sometime. But I mean, it does motivate me though. Space totally motivates me to get something printed up because
does it motivate you in a good way or a bad way?
Well, no, I'd say it's good because it gets me excited, and like when I do have something to print up and show to people, like I feel like this validation when someone buys it,
right.
and like if I just threw it in a folder and never printed it up,
right.
I would probably feel a little less encouraged because you don't get any feedback that way unless
right.
someone's over your house looking through your folders.
Right. Because I was talking with Pat, over the weekend, and like he'd said that he might not go next year, and I think I kind of convinced him to do, but his whole thing was that like because he had a book out this year that like he only did the cover for, but like he edited it and he put it together and got it printed and everything like that.
Soaked moist.
Soaked moist. Both of us have contributions.
Yeah.
If you want to see what those are, you should buy a copy because neither of us will print our.
That's right.
Our illustrations on our website.
And it's not solely in support of the purchase of the book. It's because we're kind of. I wouldn't say embarrassed.
No, definitely not embarrassed.
I'm really proud of.
Oh, me too.
Yours and mine.
Yeah.
But it's
same here.
Nothing I want to just put out there in the public.
No, yeah. Because the whole point of the book was to just have absolutely nasty comics and illustrations.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's really great. And it looks nice.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Really well done.
He did a really good job.
He was complaining that, just it took a lot out of him and like he spent so much time doing it.
Right.
And it just really didn't feel worth it to have something for space. And so that's why he was thinking about not doing it.
I wonder how much of that, though, is the anthology aspect, because, I mean, like, I've done at least 3 books now that had a lot of other artists involved.
Right.
And, like, to me, it is a little more taxing just to, like, because
you're with other people.
Well, yeah, because, you're, like, worried, you're like, oh, what if, what if it's not right for some reason, or it's late, or, whatever. I mean, because you're not in control of most of it. I mean, you're in control of, like, you're responsible for it, but you're not really in control of it. And I think that is way more frustrating, like, than trying to put out something of your own. Like, I put up Veggie Dog Saturn 6, and it was, the longest issue I've ever done, and that was a lot less frustrating, getting that done than it was
Right.
the special.
Right. Well, it's, definitely because all artists are unreliable dipshits who will suck out your soul and ruin your life. And then you were dealing with like 10 of us.
Right. Yeah. Literally. Yeah, because there was 10 people that made involved in that.
And, I'm saying that and pointing to myself as the biggest villain of this piece because I literally got mine done the day before we put it together.
Yeah. But I mean...
And I had my script for a year and a half.
Yeah, well, that was the thing, like... And it wasn't just you. I mean, like...
No, it wasn't just me, but, like, I would have to imagine the fact that, again, literally, the day before you were taking it to the printer,
Yeah.
I finished my story.
And honestly, like, I was not worried that anyone wouldn't. Like, after Chris William turned his in, at least. I wasn't worried that anyone wouldn't turn it in, but there's just that lack of control on my part, where, like I'm just kind of sitting around waiting for it all to come through, and, like, I could see how Soaked Moist was probably pretty frustrating for him, because, he is an artist and a writer, and, a creator and an animator, and he likes doing his own thing, and to rely on a dozen people or whatever, that is, I can tell you that is frustrating sometimes.
So, but I think I did convince him that, he doesn't necessarily need to have something new in order to do the show. But, it also doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think if you're going to seriously do it, like, multiple times, once in a while you should probably make something new.
Right.
Yeah.
I know I would be, like there was, like, 4 guys who, I looked at the website at Space and was like, oh, I gotta make sure I visit, these guys' tables. And I know if I would have went to any other tables and there was nothing new, I would have been disappointed.
Right.
Like, I really would have been. Like, I mean, it would have been cool to see them, like, oh, that's cool, at least I got to say hi, and, what's up, and, but, because that's what I say, what's up?
Right, yeah.
It's kind of like my
as you do.
Yeah, it's my catchphrase. Like, if there was a toy of me with a string, that would be one of the things.
That would be the first thing I would say, right?
What's up? No, but, I mean, it would be nice to see those people, but it's like, it seems like, to me, it would be really disappointing if they didn't have anything new. And all those people did have something new, so I was happy.
And you're the kind of guy that goes out and forms relationships with these people, and I'm the kind of guy that sits at the table and makes fun of them.
Yeah. Well,
so I can't give a shit.
Okay, well, that's
I don't
fair.
know.
Oh, I feel like my glands are swollen.
Yeah. My throat was very sore last night.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because we spent 4 days talking.
And we slept with the air conditioner on full blast with this.
It wasn't on full blast. It was still hot in the room.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it was.
I think at least not the first night. I woke up a little chilly the first night. Friday night.
Yeah. Well, you didn't wake up at all Saturday night.
No, I did not. I could have burned to death.
You could have. It's a good thing the air conditioner was on.
Wow, you saved my life.
Yeah, so Saturday came and went, and we had all of Pat's hipster douchebag friends just fucking mooching off of the table. They spent more time at the table than you did. And it was irritating. Sorry, Pat. Your friends are irritating.
I mostly enjoyed every minute of it.
Because you weren't there.
Oh, that's probably why. Okay.
Because every time you left the table, 17 people came in. and Straw Man's wife and Poopy Baby came in.
Poopy?
Oh, yeah.
Was she smell bad?
She was very well behaved for being a very small toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while, I would just smell just rotten shit, rotten baby shit.
Do you know it was the baby though? It could have been a number of people.
Could have been you. Could have been Brian. Could have been Pat.
Or passersby.
Could have been the guy across the aisle who kept
Maliciously staring at you.
yeah
Trying to murder you with his gaze.
murder or seduce.
Yeah.
Didn't really figure it out.
Oh yeah, I don't remember his name, and I wouldn't say it if I did, but yeah, I looked over at least twice, and he's just like staring,
Yep.
like boring a hole through the back of my head and into the wall,
Yep.
and I was like, what the hell, man? Maybe he's mad because we didn't buy any of his books.
Yeah.
He didn't come to our table.
Nope.
I
I saw his drawing of the fish is big boy, and that's pretty much all I needed to know. That and he would harass every single lady customer that would walk past him.
Oh yeah.
Have you gotten a chance to flip through my book yet?
Maybe he's trying to pick up some chicks there.
Hey, that's fine. But he's creepy. And again, I'm an anti-people douchebag, so I don't want to be around people. Especially don't want to be around people I don't know.
Right. Well, that's how you get to know them.
I don't want to know them.
No.
But yeah, Saturday came and went. I didn't. I never left the table other than to run out for an errand or go to the room or go to the bathroom. Yeah, I think I tried to go get something to eat at the bar, but the kitchen was closed, and there was some sort of weird Ponzi scheme going on in the restaurant there.
And bow ties?
Yeah, like there was like some weird seminar, and I think it was a pyramid scheme. I'm not sure.
Oh well.
But Saturday night Pat and all his friends and Brian, because I guess Brian stayed with Pat.
Right.
I guess they all went out and partied afterwards, and we're old.
Yeah, we don't party.
No, we
sir.
do not. Brian's older than us. What the hell's his problem?
Huh. Maybe he's writing a comic about young partiers.
Could be, yeah.
He's just getting some rich background detail.
He's a touring musician. That's his lifestyle.
Right.
He's Gene Simmons of lo-fi indie guitar rock.
All right.
No free rides.
I like that.
Yeah, we just. It may have been me just convincing you, but I didn't feel like going out.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
My friend Big Steve lives in Columbus, and
Right.
I see him maybe once a year, so we invited him to hang out with us and had a couple beers in the hotel. And
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah. We just kind of decided if we were going to drink, let's just stay in.
Right.
And we got some good pizza.
Yeah.
We watched some funny shit.
Yeah.
And we watched some terrible, unfunny shit.
Right. That's what happens when you turn on the TV,
Yeah.
usually.
That's what happens when the Loiter Squad is on. Oh, God. I'm glad I know about that show now, so I can avoid it forever.
Yeah.
Same with, check it out with Dr. Steve Brule.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Tim and Eric's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
As if, that's what the world needed, a spin-off of Tim and Eric.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys ran out and grabbed some beer at some mythical Kroger that was somewhere. I don't know. You crossed the Rainbow Bridge into Asgard, and they had a Kroger and a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I can never find it again. Like, it's like the door in the wall. It's like, it's right there. Last time I went by. Huh.
And I had brought a bottle of whiskey from home that I drank the entirety of by myself.
That's a party.
Yeah.
See, you partied.
And
You're a one-man party.
I am a one-man boring party. I didn't say a word, and I just sat in the chair and drank. And And then, yeah, Steve left, and we called it a night. It was like 12:30.
We had to get up at 8:30.
Yeah, and passed out. And 2:30 in the morning, I start hearing this noise. I don't know what it is. It sounds like some sort of like submarine alarm or something. It stirs me. I wake up, and I'm just like, that was weird. And I try to go back to sleep, and then it happens again, and keeps happening. Like it'll shut off, and then it'll start again. And gets to the point where I get up and I look out like the peephole of the door, and I can hear people like moving around, and I can see like the fire alarm is going off, and it's like flashing and it's loud. And I leave the room and I walk out into the hall, and I see people roaming around, and I start heading down towards the lobby to see what the hell's going on. And I get down towards that area, and people like start coming back from the lobby, and like somebody's pulled the fire alarm. And bear in mind, at this point, I've been asleep for 2 hours, and I look like I've been asleep for 2 hours, and I also look like I have drank an entire bottle of whiskey. And I've been suddenly awakened by a fire alarm.
That's a pretty mental image.
Yeah. So I stumble back to my room.
Is hot mess, is that a description?
Mostly just mess. Yeah. One might say sweaty mess.
Sweaty?
Because I got the boot sweats. Yeah.
Okay. Your sticky mess.
Yeah, there we go. So I stumbled back to our room, and like this couple is coming down the fire escape. We were right next to the staircase.
Right.
So they come down the staircase, and like they see me walking back into the room. Like, anybody figure out what this is about? So somebody pulled the fire alarm. They're like, figures. And then they leave the building. And I get back into the room, and I close the door, and I get back into my bed, and fire alarm's still going off for like another 10, 15 minutes. You never once woke up, never made a sound, never heard me leave the room.
No, yeah, this was all news to me.
And never like, what's going on?
I mean, I did wake up, and I heard like, something, like some sort of noise, and I just thought, I was like, oh, that's like somebody's alarm, they're getting up early or something. And I just went right back to sleep. Like, I didn't know any of this other stuff happened, and I had no idea it was the fire alarm.
I even got online real quick to post about it on Twitter and Facebook.
That's awesome.
Yeah, never noticed.
No, not at all. That's another one of my superpowers. I can sleep through anything.
I thought I could.
I could sleep anywhere at any time.
I thought I could. I had the booze to power a sleep like that.
You would think, right?
Nope.
Well, I'm just glad that that's a lesson learned, because if I ever am like spending a night alone in a hotel or motel, I'll probably tell the front desk to, like wake me up physically if there's a fire. Because that's incredible.
And Sunday was a little slower. Well, Saturday morning, before the show started, I did my breakfast reconnaissance.
Oh yes, as your
I
job
do. It's my job description.
Right.
Yeah. And then it was an adventure, because the main road nearest the hotel, it's not a great road. There's no way to turn left ever on it.
Yeah.
And
it's not a one way. It's just fucked up and weird.
It's just super busy. They have left turn lanes, but you have to wait until it gives you the arrow, and then you can like make a U-turn if you need to.
Right.
But it takes like 20 minutes for that to happen. So like I ran to McDonald's to grab us some breakfast. So that took like half an hour, and the line was crazy, through the drive-through. So, but I had to make a left turn into there, and then I had to stop at Speedway to get some coffee and to put gas in the car, and then that was another left turn. But you couldn't make a left turn out of Speedway to head back to the hotel, so I had to make a right turn so that I could make a left turn. So it felt like I was gone for like an hour.
Right.
And I finally got back. Well, on Saturday night when we were trying to find just something quick to eat, I found another McDonald's and another Speedway on a different road. And I was like, oh, if I go out Sunday morning, this is where I'm going to go.
More convenient.
More convenient.
Right.
I knew I could get in and out pretty quickly. So Sunday, I go to the McDonald's. You wanted two egg and cheese biscuit sandwiches, and having over a liter of whiskey in my belly, I decided that I didn't really feel like having meat.
Right.
So I just wanted 2 egg and cheese bagel sandwiches, and so I ordered those. And this is a McDonald's that has the 2 drive-through lanes.
Oh, I hate that.
It's annoying as shit. And I told my friend about this today. He was like, yeah, I don't understand how they work. And I'm going to tell you, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't work. Because I got up to the pay window, and there was still somebody in front of me. And I could tell that they were asking him what he ordered. And then he told them, and then they still got it wrong. And then he paid, finally. And then he pulled up to the window where they give you the food. And they gave him the wrong thing. And he had to give it back. And then they gave him another bag that apparently was what he ordered. So I get up to the pay window. And the lady at the cash register, she's like, you had the 2 egg and cheese biscuits and the 2 egg and cheese bagels. I was like, yes. I pay. I go up to the window to get the food, and the guy there is like, so you had the 2 sausage burritos? I said, no. What did you have? 2 egg and cheese biscuits, 2 egg and cheese bagels. Okay. So he closes the window, there's some shuffling going on, and then he opens the window and he hands me this gigantic fucking bag. And he puts it in my hands, and there's like plastic trays in it. And I look inside the bag, and I see the 2 egg and cheese biscuits, and I see 2 bagels, and I see 2 trays with egg and cheese in them.
Just egg and cheese.
Just egg and cheese. Yeah. And the bagels have nothing in them. Because McDonald's doesn't serve a plain egg and cheese bagel sandwich.
You have to build your own.
Yeah. They sell a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich, or a steak, egg, and cheese sandwich with bagel. But not just egg and cheese bagels.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, just make it without the bacon.
Right. Yeah. Pretty simple. Pretty fucking simple. And so I look at the guy, I'm like, why is this way? He's like, I don't know. And he grabs a manager, and she's like, what's the problem? I was like, well, I ordered a egg and cheese bagel sandwich, and they came separately. She's like, oh yeah, I saw that. I wondered what that was about.
So, okay, well, that's the voice of reason.
Yeah, kind of. And I was like, yeah, so why weren't they put together then? I was like, well, we don't serve a bagel, egg, and cheese sandwich. I was like, okay. She's like, well, if you give me the bag, I'll put them together for you and give it back to you.
Perhaps it was like, it's like some, you know how like you can buy all the parts of a bomb at a hardware store, but you can't buy a bomb.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, she did offer to build the bomb for me.
Okay.
She's like, if you give it back to me, I'll put it together for you. If you just pull ahead, I'll bring it back out to you. I was like, no, I can do this myself.
Right.
It's just weird.
Yes. You're just alerting them to the issue.
Yeah. And then by the time I got back to the convention, it was cold anyway, and it was bullshit, and I barely ate one of them. And I was sickened by the whole process of having to make my own breakfast.
Well, that's just one of many reasons not to eat at McDonald's for breakfast, but
Yeah.
honestly, like, I gotta say, mine was fucking tasty.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, like I'm not a fan, really, but whenever I'm traveling, like, it is pretty easy to just, go through a drive-through at McDonald's for breakfast, and it's usually nowhere near as good
Right.
as what I had over the weekend. That was actually really tasty.
Yeah, I do my best to avoid McDonald's, but I'm a fat guy. I can't.
And they have some beacon that just...
Yeah. I don't know. But also, it was convenient and easy to get to both mornings.
For the most part.
For the most part. Well, it was closer than anything else.
Right,
Yeah. So then Sunday was slower. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like it.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of books Sunday. But...
The only books I bought, other than Rub the Blood, Pat's book, the only books I bought were on Sunday. I bought one that I'm not going to talk about because it's going to be a future Gutter Trash pick.
Yeah.
Then the other one, my friend Amanda, she's always wanted me to look out for stuff whenever I get something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen actually had bought a book that I thought, oh, that looks like something Amanda would really get into. So I tried to go buy those. Well, it turns out that it's actually they were a guy that I made fun of earlier in the show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you had gone away from the table, and it was when Joe was hanging out with us.
Okay.
Our pal Joe G came and hang out with us for about an hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hanging with him at the table and talking, and this dude walks past, this white dude with a giant afro, and he was like walking really fast, and he was just kind of like saying, "Hey, everybody," as he walked past. And he left, and I looked at Joe. I was like, "Well, I'm glad that LMFAO made an appearance." Somebody out there is laughing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it the lead singer of Mars Volta?
No.
Oh, okay.
LMFAO is a band. And I use the term loosely. They are a wannabe hip hop act.
Okay.
They've coined a term called party rock, and pretty much like all their videos are just like them like spraying champagne on like half naked chicks, and just really annoying, like almost dubsteppy but not quite loud electronic music.
Wow.
With lots of the
Auto-tune.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow, I don't know how that look on your face perfectly described auto-tune, but it did. Well, it sounds like a recipe for a lot of financial success for that band. I mean...
Yeah, except that they were also millionaires before they started the band.
Oh, okay.
Because I think one of them is like the grandson of like Quincy Jones or something like that.
And he's sad.
The other one was like an investment banker. But this dude kind of looked like them, just an obnoxious white guy with a giant fro. And so, Joe got the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny to him. He was there. Joe. Right? Joe?
I'm glad he was there instead of me.
Yeah.
Because dead silence.
Yeah. So when I did look around, though, and I found that book, it was called Black Rose. It was the LMFAO guy. And I was like, oh, I'll buy. It was a 6-issue series.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll buy the whole set. And they didn't have issue 1. They had one copy that they just had on display on their table. And I looked at it. I was like, well, you've got it right there. And I want to buy the whole set. He's like, yeah, we're not selling that one. Not until the end of the day. I was like, oh, well, then never mind. And I walked away. And then like half an hour later, LMFAO came back to our table, and he was like, "You're the guy that wanted to buy the whole set, right?"
And you thought he was going to fight you.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, it's late enough in the day. We can sell that issue number 1 if you're still interested." Yeah. I was like, "All right, cool. I'll go get them. It'll be like $18. Yeah, that's fine. You want me to sign them? I don't care." He signed them.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, that was nice, huh? Yeah. I mean, yeah, you'd think you'd maybe, maybe bring a little extra number 1s.
Right.
But, I mean, I understand. I think.
Like I lightened my dickish stance when he came back and actually brought me all the books.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, just, it's weird. Never sold out of a book at a show before. And I was like, well, that's a good sign, right? It's like, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. So, I mean, I flipped through those too. It looks
They
good.
look great.
Yeah, the art's awesome.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like anything I'd actually want to read.
No, yeah, I mean, because when I went to his table, like originally, I was just like making the rounds, and I went over there and I was flipping through it because I thought the art looked cool, and he's like, it's kind of like a cross between Lord of the Rings and Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at him and I was like, I don't like either one of those things. I said, but this looks pretty cool. I was like, it looks like something my girlfriend would probably like. So I said, when she comes to the show, I'll make sure she comes and sees it. But I said, I'm not into either one of those things at all. And yeah, she came by and I pointed her to the table and she thought it looked cool. So we picked up the set.
Yeah, and like I said, I saw Kathleen had them and I kind of flipped through it and I was like, yeah, I think Amanda would like those. So.
Was it called Black Rose?
Black Rose.
Yeah, Google it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks, it's drawn amazingly well. The covers look nice, production values look good. But yeah, it's like piratey, fantasy, sci-fi.
He did like sort of like intrigue me slightly, even though he used the word fantasy to describe it, because he said, he's like, it's a fantasy comic, but he's like, there's no like elves and wizards and like your usual. He said it's fantasy in the sense that it's all like kind of made up beings and places, and it's kind of just like weird aliens. Like to me, it actually sounded more like Star Wars than the way he described it. But yeah, I don't know. I just like to I like to flip through it again sometime.
Yeah. Well, you have every opportunity that you have.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, so those are the only things I really bought, and I just kind of did. I think I did 2 rounds around the room, to see that nothing was interesting me.
Did you ever go and look at the original art Nate Powell had hanging up?
I saw it. Yeah, it's awesome. He's a fantastic artist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Like, because the only other time I've seen him do that was like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago when Dave Sim. Yeah, he had all this like
Judenhaus.
Yeah. And like I think that would be something awesome to do every year. Like have somebody with original art hanging up. Like if they would have had Guy Davis original art last year,
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, that would have been super
2
cool.
years ago. But
Was that 2 years ago?
yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, that is definitely a guy that should have been been featured there.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave Sim's a huge name, but Guy Davis is probably like 2.
Yeah, I think it's got like 2 extra letters in Guy Davis.
Yeah.
I just did the math. Yeah. Nate Powell, clearly bigger than either one of those names.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they had Bill Sinkovich there?
I don't think that would fit.
That's the biggest name.
Yeah. They couldn't do that. They could not do that. I mean,
Jock, not much of a star.
Yeah.
4 letters, yeah.
But Bill Sinkovich. I mean, Nate Powell had like 4 tables, worth of space to have his art. Bill Sinkovich would need like an entire room.
Oh
just to
yeah,
fit his name.
the whole.
Yeah. The entire section of the room that I blacked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that. Our table was like right in front of a switch panel of some sort, and I leaned back and accidentally hit a button, and it knocked the power out of the quarter of the room we were in.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that you actually bumped it.
Yeah.
And like everybody kind of was looking around, like trying to figure out what happened. And
Yeah.
you said something like, is this the light switch behind me?
Right.
And it looks exactly like our motion detector at Mavericks, like the
Right.
keypad. Like it even says like Zone 1 and Zone 2.
Right.
And it didn't say like, I didn't see any like, off and on or like,
Right.
like
Yeah.
a light switch.
Yeah, like a light switch should have.
It just looked like little like zone buttons,
Yeah.
like depicting,
There's like 17 buttons on it, and there's like arrows,
Right.
and yeah, it says Zone 1, Zone 2, and, I'm thinking that, well, maybe I did accidentally hit that, and that knocked out the power, but I certainly don't want to press more buttons.
And like the entire place
Right,
turns
yeah.
off, all the power goes out. And, But yeah, eventually a guy came over and we were all just sitting in the dark. And
Yeah.
it was like, it wasn't pitch black. It was like,
no, yeah.
it was like when you go to
It
a
was
restaurant.
moonlighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like one of those restaurants where like it's dim, but
Yeah.
you can still see each other. And he came over and reached right behind you and turned the
Yeah.
lights on. He's like, if this happens again, just hit this
Hit
button.
this button, yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody looked at you like, you bastard.
Yeah, whoops. Fuck all of you, I hate you all anyway.
Yeah.
You fucking hipster pieces of shit.
Okay.
Except for Brian John Mitchell.
Oh yeah. He wasn't really in the dark.
Yeah.
He didn't really.
Yeah, he was still on the light side.
No.
It was
Yeah.
his wizardry.
Yeah, he used his crystal ball to foresee that and set himself in that perfect spot.
So did you have a good show? I mean,
Yeah. I kind of looked over. I think I sold maybe like 15 books or so, and I think I pretty much broke even with what I sold as far as like covering the table cost.
right.
That doesn't cover the printing cost. So I didn't break even overall, but I had a really good time, and I found a bunch of good books, and like I got to see. I didn't mention Nate McDonough. I got to see him and talk to him and convince him to help me out with a project, and I got some of my comics possibly being distributed by Spit in the Half, which that would be awesome. So yeah, it was a good show. Like I got to talk to people and found some good books. Like even if I knew I was never, even if I knew somehow, like if Brian John Mitchell let me look into his crystal ball and foresee that I would lose money every year, I'd still go to that show and set up if I knew I would sell something,
Right.
just because it's fun.
Right.
But I mean, maybe every once in a while, like especially if I don't have something new out, I might just like go there and walk around because that'd be almost just as much fun to me.
Yeah.
Almost. But yeah, good times. I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I had a 10.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm glad you got to go. Glad Pat got to go. Glad everybody that showed up. It was cool to see him.
Yeah.
I missed some Kurt Dins. I
Well, I always miss some Kurt Dents.
would love to see him.
It'd be nice if he came back, Kurt.
Mhm.
It really would.
Maybe next year.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
What do you say, Kurt?
All right, he'll do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, it's settled then.
I was glad I got to see Brian John Mitchell.
Mhm.
Went out to dinner with him on Sunday. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Some fucking excellent Mexican food.
Unbelievable. Amazing Mexican food at Casa something or other. Casa horse, whatever. What's the Mexican word for? What's Spanish for horse? I don't know.
Caballo?
Maybe that's what it was because there was horse depicted all over the outside of that.
Yeah. Hey, let's make this clear. Horse.
With no W.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, seriously, like that was one of the best things I've ever eaten. Ever.
Yeah.
Like whatever it was I ordered.
It was probably horse.
Probably. Yeah.
A little
Well-
Verde horse.
God damn it, it was amazing.
Oh, I know. I mean, like most Mexican restaurants, you order, before you order your food, they bring you the chips and the salsa.
Yeah.
This place does that, but they also bring you like beans and
Yeah,
cheese,
yeah.
like and all this. It's amazing.
My thing came with flour tortillas, and you could tell that they made the flour tortillas there. They didn't just open up a package.
That's incredible.
It was great.
Yeah, that was the tastiest meal I had all
Yeah.
weekend, and I love that pizza that we had. But
That pizza was good too.
yeah, the Mexican restaurant kicked its ass.
Hell yeah, it did. It was definitely better than the Valhalla Mexican restaurant that we couldn't find again. Apparently, Brigadoon had already changed course.
He'd been frozen by Loki. He couldn't open the portal.
But, no, yeah, it was good to see Joe G.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad that we both had to go to Columbus to hang out for a while. Same with seeing Kathleen. Sad that we both had to go to Columbus to hang out for an hour or so.
Right.
But it's also partially my fault. I don't leave my house.
That's factors in.
No, yeah, it was fun. But, a couple years ago, I just realized that I know I'm not going to sell anything, so why bother? And it's just sort of taken all the pressure out of going to things like this for me. And
That's
it's
cool,
just
I
sort of like, I just want to hang out with my friends.
Right. It is fun. I mean, I know you a while ago said something, you poo-pooed the brotherly love version of space, but I mean, to me, that it really is like you said, that guy with that afro is walking around going, "Hey, everybody." And there is like that awesome sense of camaraderie, and like everybody's there trying to peddle their little wares. And
maybe it's just the cynic in me, but it just all seems fake.
Really?
Yeah, just a lot of those people just seem real fake
assholes. Well,
assholes.
I'm sure there's a few. But I mean, like, I really do get the sense that everybody's excited and, like, they're buying each other's books. And I seriously look forward to it 11 and a half months a year.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you have a good time. I'm glad that it's something you look forward to. I'm glad that it inspires you to continue to do more work, because I think everything you do is pretty great.
Oh.
And we'll always want to see more stuff. I always look forward to seeing you working on things.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. You're a kind man. I feel the same way about me. My stuff's great.
Right. Yeah. So I think is there anything else pressing you want to talk about space?
I think that pretty much sums up the good times we had.
Because I desperately need to take a bathroom break, and then I need to actually just leave.
Okay.
Because it is getting kind of late.
Yeah, it's my bedtime as well.
So we're back on schedule, regular show.
That's right.
So what are we going to watch?
I want to watch a movie.
Yeah. Cynical Man, the movie?
Oh, we missed it. Yeah, that's
Twice.
something we did miss.
Well, of course, we also didn't realize that it was an actual full-length movie.
Yeah, I thought it was like a half an hour, but apparently it's an hour and a half. Oh, well.
Yeah.
And eventually we'll watch that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll pick up the show sometime. Maybe. But yeah, no, I actually found out about this movie at Space.
What?
But it's not comic related.
Okay.
I was talking to a guy about Prometheus, and we were talking about Ridley Scott movies, and he's telling me about a movie that I'd never heard of.
Blade Runner.
No. It's an old movie with Harvey Keitel and one of the Carradines called The Duelists.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
It's a Ridley Scott movie?
It's a Ridley Scott movie.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I want to see this movie.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah?
Duelists.
The Duelists.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Alright.
Well, yeah, thanks for going to space, buddy.
Thanks for letting me tag along.
Hope everybody that's listening is there next year.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Goodbye.
Yes.
You can subscribe to Gutter Trash at iTunes or directly at guttertrash.net. If you go to iTunes, please leave us a review. You can email us at eric@guttertrash.net or jason@guttertrash.net. For more info, you can find us on Facebook. Or you can go to seanborn.net or buyerbeware.guttertrash.net. Listen to our sister podcast, League Night, at league.guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening. Until next time.